Basketball fans, what's going on? Welcome into NBA Now from Chat Sports. I'm your host, Jimmy Crowther, and today we got some news on some NBA injuries, but also a rumor on a potential big name getting moved in the offseason. And that's where we're going to start with today's show. Aaron Gordon of the Orlando Magic, the should-be NBA dunk contest champion, could be getting traded. According to Sean Deveney, the Orlando Magic were actively shopping him at the deadline, but nothing got done. Teams like the Phoenix Suns and the Golden State Warriors were showing a lot of interest at the time, but the Magic just said, we'll hold on to him a little bit longer and make this playoff push as a team really in that 7th seed in the Eastern Conference. But now Deveney is saying he is the biggest name that could be moved this summer. Aaron Gordon for the Magic this year at just 24 years old. So you got to remember, he's still young. He's still a valuable piece. 14.4 points per game, little over 7 rebounds and 3 assists. Three-point shot hasn't really come around for him quite yet, but he is such an electric finisher around the rim that right now that three-point shot isn't imperative, and 30% is going to hold you over just enough. Now, I put together a list of teams that I believe could make some sense for Aaron Gordon and the Orlando Magic to be trade partners. The Golden State Warriors, that's still a team out there that still showed interest. I believe they didn't trade for him because they ended up trading for Andrew Wiggins, so nothing got done there. The Minnesota Timberwolves, a team that has Karl Anthony Towns. They have D'Angelo Russell, but they don't really have a true power forward. They don't have any great wings right now, and Aaron Gordon could be that for them and be another building block for them going forward. The Phoenix Suns, Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton, a good young duo, but outside of that, you got Kelly Oubre. You need a big man, maybe a power forward, maybe another wing. That's what Aaron Gordon can be, and I think he can grow with that team in Phoenix and really help them make a playoff push eventually. Finally, the Dallas Mavericks. We always know the Dallas Mavericks are aggressive in trade talks no matter what. That's how they prefer to build their team. And the Mavs showed interest in Aaron Gordon a while back around the trade deadline. Maybe they could do that again. They might have to move some valuable pieces like a Maxi Kleber or a Dorian Finney-Smith, but he could make some sense as a third star next to KP and Luka. So I put my teams out there. I got Minnesota, I got the Suns, I got the Mavs, I got the Warriors. I didn't mention any Eastern Conference teams. So let me know in the comment section. Go ahead and scroll on down. Which team should make a trade for Aaron Gordon? If you're watching here on YouTube, you're probably going to get hit with the ad break. Go ahead and watch that and take some time to reply to this comment down below. Now let's talk about a different Gordon, a Gordon in the Western Conference. Eric of the Houston Rockets. Now, he turned his ankle in that final scrimmage for the Rockets against the Boston Celtics. He stepped on Vincent Poirier, a.k.a. the Flying Frenchman's ankle, and he turned his real bad. He couldn't even walk off the court under his own power, but he got x-rays, and luckily for him and the Rockets, they were negative. And in the medical field, x-ray negatives are a good thing. So he will return to play sooner rather than later for the Rockets, but he's expected to miss up to 2 weeks, maybe even more if that ankle doesn't heal well. Now, when the Rockets are healthy, right now, Eric Gordon is back in that starting 5. You've got Russell Westbrook and James Harden in the backcourt. Eric Gordon, I guess, is playing a hybrid 3 position with Robert Covington and PJ Tucker down low. Of course, this is the small ball lineup for the Houston Rockets. But now you take Eric Gordon out of that starting 5, and you're probably subbing in a guy like Daniel House, who's a good shooter, but outside of that, I don't really know what he's giving you. Gordon, who plays a lot of 6-man this year, 6-man as a whole, has averaged 14.5 points per game, nearly 2 rebounds, assist and a half, and shooting just over 31% from 3. So not a great shooter this year, but he is a key piece to the Rockets' success. In fact, he's probably the 3rd best player on that team now that there's no Clint Capella. It goes James, it goes Russell Westbrook, and it goes Eric Gordon. So without him, the Rockets could be in trouble. And it's almost guaranteed at this point that he's going to miss that first game against the Dallas Mavericks on Friday night. And that's a big game because the Mavs are on their tail in the Western Conference standing. Now, they also got the Milwaukee Bucks right after that, and that is a game that I could see him missing as well because it's in the early part of August. But when you look at this Western Conference standings, things start to get really interesting for the Rockets. The Lakers, the Clippers, and the Nuggets are pretty solid, pretty stuck there in the top 3 in some order. Lakers definitely going to be number 1. But then you got the Utah Jazz at 4, 8.5 games behind. But the Thunder and the Rockets at 5 and 6 are just 1 game behind them. So they could definitely catch them. However, where it gets a little bit hairy for the Rockets is the Mavericks at just a game and a half behind Houston for that 6th seed. So if the Rockets drop that first game to the Mavs, and the Rockets keep dropping games like games to the Bucks because there's no Eric Gordon, the Mavs could jump them. In fact, really, Houston could fall as low as number 7 in the Western Conference. I predict that's where they're going to end up. So let me know in the comment section. where will Houston finish in the West? I don't think they're going to have a good showing in Orlando. I think they're going to fall quite a bit, and I think the Mavs are going to jump them. I think they'll finish below teams like Utah, Denver, and the Oklahoma City Thunder. I've got Houston going to number 7 in the Western Conference, maybe number 6 if they're lucky. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section. And no matter who you're a fan of, whether you're cheering for the Rockets, you're cheering for the Dallas Mavericks, or you got some other team that you're cheering for in the bubble, go get yourself an NBA hat. Right now, these hats are starting as low as $5. So go get one. There's no reason not to. When you go to chatsports.com/NBA hat and you use promo code CONE, that's CONE, you get up to 65% off. So make sure you use that code. Make sure you use that custom link at chatsports.com/NBA hat. And whoever you're cheering on, whether they're in the bubble or they're not in the bubble, you can go find a great deal on all of these team hats. So go do that today thanks to our friends at Fanatics. Now let's move over to the Los Angeles Clippers. Montrezl Harrell is expected to miss the season opener against the Los Angeles Lakers. He left the bubble last week, actually about 2 weeks ago now, to tend to an urgent family matter, and we haven't heard from him since. There is almost 100% guarantee that he is not going to play against the Los Angeles Lakers on Thursday night, and there's really no timetable for his return to Orlando. It's getting a bit messy. He's not going to be able to practice with the team, and the bad thing for the Clippers is now you don't have Montrezl Harrell, but you also don't have Lou Williams, who got a little bit too busy getting his hands dirty on some chicken wings. And this year, both these guys have been really sixth man of the year. Montrezl Harrell, 18.6 points per game and 7 rebounds, finishing around the rim well at 58%. And Lou Williams doing what Lou Williams does at 18.7 points per game, 3 rebounds and 6 assists, 36% from 3. But Lou Williams is definitely out for that Lakers game. And he might miss the next game if he doesn't clear that 10-day quarantine period that he has to serve in Orlando. Now, when Montrezl Harrell comes back, he's going to be able to play, but after he posts a negative test for at least 2 days in quarantine. So there's no telling when Montrezl Harrell will be back in action for the Los Angeles Clippers. And when you see what the 4 teams are that they're going to play, the Clippers that is, the Clippers are going to play in the first 4 games, they're having a little bit of a tough stretch. You got the Los Angeles Lakers first. That's the number 1 team in the Western Conference. You got the New Orleans Pelicans, who are fighting for an 8th seed, so they're going to be playing all out. Now, Phoenix Suns, that should be an easy win, but then you got the Dallas Mavericks, who are also looking to move up. So if the Clippers aren't careful, and if they don't get all their players back, they could fall lower than the 2 seed, maybe fall down to 3, potentially 4, but I don't see them falling any lower than 3 in the Western Conference. Now, we got basketball back on Thursday night, and that starts with the Lakers and the Clippers. Well, before that, you got the Pelicans and the Jazz, but the game that everyone cares about is that Lakers-Clippers matchup. So tell me who you think is going to win that game, the first real exciting game we get to watch. Type L if you think the Lakers are going to have it. Type C if you think the Clippers are going to get it. Without Montrezl Harrell and without Lou Williams, you got to be typing your L for Lakers, right? Well, maybe I'm wrong. Let me know in the comment section. And basketball fans, with NBA coming back, we've got our NBA coverage ramping up here on Chat Sports. I'm going to be doing a lot of basketball stuff. My guy Tom Downey and Harrison Graham is going to be doing a lot of basketball stuff as well. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. We're steadily growing to 200,000 subscribers. We want to hit that mark here very soon. Let's go to youtube.com/chatsportstv, or we'll make it real easy on you. Scroll down, hit the big red subscribe button. Now, speaking of the first games in the bubble, when we get actual basketball back, the New Orleans Pelicans playing the Utah Jazz. They're hopefully going to have Zion Williamson in that game, hopefully for NBA fans and for the Pelicans as well. He, as well as like Montrezl Harrell, was tending to a family matter, so he was not in the bubble for a while. He missed the scrimmages for the Pelicans, but he returned to practice on Tuesday afternoon, but he didn't participate in the 5-on-5 drills. He was doing a lot of 0-on-5 or 1-on-0 action in those practices, and now we'll see if he's going to be ready to go in that actual game against the Utah Jazz. He will be reevaluated hopefully today. As we're filming this, we don't know anything about whether or not he will be available. This year, in limited time, just about 19 games with the Pelicans, he's put up 24 points, pulled down 7 rebounds, shooting better than 46% from 3, and showing that if he was healthy all year long, he would have been the Rookie of the Year. But that's John Morant's title. But when you look at what the Pelicans are doing with this team right now, it's really exciting. And this is the team that I believe is getting that 8th seed in the Western Conference. You got Lonzo Ball and Drew Holiday in the backcourt. Ball has been really fun to watch this year, has stepped up on the three-point arc. Drew Holiday, a seasoned vet that is leading this team well. Brandon Ingram, the most improved player, in my opinion, at 24 points per game has been great. You got Derek Favors, a reliable center in the middle, and then you got the electric rookie in Zion Williamson in your starting five. Not to mention exciting guys like J.J. Redick, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Jackson Hayes, Nico Melli, all coming off the bench for this Pelicans team. It's going to be a lot of fun. And if you want a Pelicans hat or maybe you want a Clippers hat, whatever team you want to rep while the NBA bubble is going, you got to go to chatsports.com/NBA hat. Find your favorite team hat for as low as $5. Why wouldn't you get one or two or maybe even three for as low as $5? Got to use that promo code CONE, CONE, to get 65% off at Fanatics. Chatsports.com/NBA hat, starting as low as $5. No matter what team you're repping, they've got you covered, and they got your head covered too with these awesome hats. Now let's move on to another piece of injury news. Anthony Davis of the Los Angeles Lakers. He got poked in the eye in the Lakers' second scrimmage game and was forced to sit out the rest of the scrimmages, but he returned to practice on Thursday, and he is expected to play against the Clippers in that opener. Now, Adrian Wojnarowski did say they're not in any rush to get him back. They're going to be very, very cautious with him, and that is a smart move because the Lakers are the number one team in the Western Conference. They don't have to have this guy back right away, but when you see what he did in the scrimmages, he looked like his old self. He looked like he was ready to go. AD put up 12 points and scored it efficiently at 71% from the field against the Dallas Mavericks, but he only got one rebound in 15 minutes of action. Now, somebody must have given him a good slap on the back of the neck because he went and pulled down 10 rebounds in the next game in just 9 minutes, scored 9 points, but then got his eye almost poked out in that game, so he had to sit out the rest of the way. Now, this Lakers-Clippers matchup is going to be a ton of fun. There might not be any Montrezl Harrell, there might not be any Lou Williams, but you got LeBron and AD, and you got Kawhi and Paul George. So I'm excited about this game. It's going to be the first real game we get to watch. That's 6 o'clock Pacific time, 8 o'clock Central time. Make sure you're tuned in on ESPN. You're checking it out. And then come back here, and we'll have all the post-game analysis here and on the Lakers channel as well, youtube.com/LakersTV. So go check them out. Now, Anthony Davis, again, great. But his counterpart, LeBron James, might be taking a step back. Now, Ryan Sullivan did a very interesting deep dive into LeBron James' stats, and we're going to break it down here for you on the show. Since LeBron James has started his signature Taco Tuesday, his stats have steadily declined. That was in the 2018-2019 season. So is it time for LeBron to give up tacos? Well, here's Ryan Sullivan's findings, the stats that he found on Tuesday nights since LeBron started his Taco Tuesdays. Before he started doing it from 2003 to 2018, LeBron was winning 71% of his games on Tuesday nights. But since then, since he started eating tacos every Tuesday, his Tuesday night win percentage has dipped to 63%. Another important stat here is the positive percentage, the amount of positive things LeBron has done on the court has decreased by nearly 18% on Tuesday nights, from 38% positive rating to a 20% positive rating. And then you look at what he's done negatively on the court, it's jumped up 11%. An 11% increase in your negative percentage on the court at 35% to 24% before he started his Taco Tuesday. So is it time for LeBron to give up tacos? Let me know in the comment section. If you think yes, type a crown emoji in the comment section for the king. If you think he needs to keep on eating those tacos, let him have his fun, put a taco emoji down in the comment section below. We love having fun here on Chat Sports, so make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you give this video a like and hit that notification bell, NBA fans. I'll see you next time.